Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin Roberts. I'm your vocal empowerment coach, and I'm excited to welcome you to my community where you'll be supported with resources to step into your fullest power through learning to optimize your voice. For over 2 decades, I've helped hundreds of singers, actors, public speakers, and everyday conversationalists just like you learn how to use their voice and body with clarity, power, and expression. And I'm passionate about bringing the vocally empowered method to women who are growing into their best selves. My bigger mission is elevating women's voices everywhere, helping women to be heard, and helping them express the dynamic, amazing people that they are inside. In today's video, we are exploring how to discover and amplify your vocal strengths. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you really like how your voice sounds? You feel magnetic. You feel like people are listening, but you're not sure what's causing that vocal tone or how to replicate it again for the next time. Today's video will help you figure out exactly how to do that, including a few key vocal tone vocabulary, learning how to listen to your own voice without judgment, and how to develop the best parts of your voice and use those more often. So, no more wondering how your voice works or feeling overwhelmed with how to use it to your advantage. Yes, you can be in control of your voice. And yes, you can build a rich, powerful speaking voice. So let's jump into it. We learned that vocal tone has a wide variety of qualities, some of which you might like and some you might not. And none of those determine a general goodness or badness about your voice. Remember, there are no hard and fast rules here about what traits are good and desirable in a voice and which aren't. For example, in classical music, a scratchy vocal tone would be considered a problem, whereas in rock music, that same trait would be well sought after. So vocal tone is very much in the eye of the beholder, and you are the beholder. You get to decide what kind of vocal tone you like and what you want to embody. So let's take this idea a little bit further and revisit the list of your own vocal traits that you made in your workbook. Now we're going to allow some of that evaluation thinking to come back into play here. And we're going to build some new skills around discerning various elements of your vocal tone and finding skills in being able to create opportunities to amplify and use those traits that you like more often. We're going to decide which elements of your vocal tone you like best, but we're going to try to invite that evaluation of the voice in a context of enjoyment and delight, rather than judgment. We're going to explore looking at your own voice from a lens of what sounds interesting to you, what sounds unique to you, what delights you or makes you curious and magnetized to want to hear more of your own voice. So we are going to use a simple 4-step discovery process to help you notice which parts of your voice you love the most and want to amplify. In step 1, we stripped off any evaluation of the vocal tone qualities, which we already did this in the previous lesson. We just took a look at a list of facts about your voice. In step 2, once we have that list of facts, we are going to stop playing the comparison game. We stop making any measurements against any other person's voice. We stop doing any compare or contrast to a friend or a family member's voice, or a favorite singing artist or favorite speaker, because it ultimately doesn't matter how anyone else's voice compares to yours. You don't have that voice and you don't have those vocal tone qualities. So spending time and energy considering your voice versus this other person's is a waste of your resources. It will not serve you one bit to say, oh, I really love so-and-so's super high voice and I'm going to try to make mine sound exactly like that. Trying to force changes into the natural traits of your voice is nearly impossible mechanically. Plus, it misses the whole point of the vocally empowered methodology. It covers up the unique and beautiful instrument that you do have, rather than taking what you have and letting it shine out. So, if you find yourself getting distracted or emotionally caught up in artists that you follow on social media, or colleagues or friends with certain types of voices, I'll encourage you to detox from allowing that energy into your life. Put your focus back onto yourself and your own voice, and guaranteed through that expanded attention to yourself, you will start to notice really incredible things about your voice that you may not have ever seen before. The tool you have to work with is you. So don't waste another second wishing that you had what someone else has, or using your voice in ways that are not authentically you. So I'll encourage you to grab your journal here, your workbook. Are there ways that you've tried to copy someone else's voice and maybe it felt forced? Jot down any notes that come to mind here. Are there ways that you've tried to overcompensate for some of your natural vocal tone qualities? For example, if you're a naturally quiet speaker, have you tried to force your voice to be louder in a way that felt energetically tiring? I'll give you some time here to work with the journal prompts. When you're ready to come back to the course, we'll continue on with the third step. The third step in discovering your vocal strengths is an exercise that I like to call On a Deserted Island, which I find really helpful in a lot of contexts when I'm wanting to get into the heart of my own personal opinions without allowing any input, any distraction, or persuasion from others. People who seek to build a stronger vocal confidence generally tend to be people who seek stronger confidence in their life in general. And those people are often easily affected by the opinions, ideas, and energies of the people around them, myself included here. Many empaths experience this challenge because of the nature of our beautiful openness, which is a strength. We can have a harder time finding boundaries when listening to other people's ideas versus listening to ourselves, going within and listening to our own truth. Listening to others is a super important part of a well-balanced communication strategy and a balanced life. But for the purposes of this course and building vocal confidence, the opinions of others really have no place here. So this deserted island exercise is a great way to temporarily compartmentalize your connections with others and focus on your own truth. So here's the exercise. Let's pretend for a moment that you're living on a deserted island completely by yourself. Go ahead and close your eyes here. Let your imagination go with this for a few minutes and let it become very vibrant in your mind. Visualize what your island looks like, what the terrain is like, what plants and animals are there, what you can see around you, and what your shelter area looks like. Feel the weather and temperature, smell the aromas, and imagine the sounds. Are there waves crashing? Is there water nearby? Do you smell fresh flowers or plants? Do you feel the heat of the sun? Is this a tropical island or is it a dry, cooler climate? Let your imagination run for a few minutes with this. Now start imagining living your life completely alone on this island. And imagine what you'll do to fill your day. You'll most likely spend a lot of your time on simple survival tasks like gathering food and water, maintaining your shelter, and exploring the beauty of the island and just relaxing. Visualize this very simple life and the simplicity of being completely content with just yourself, not needing the energy of other people to fill up your cup. In this simple, natural, imaginary scenario, imagine that no one else will ever hear your voice. No one else will ever hear you speak or sing, grunt or sigh, cry, scream, or vocalize out loud in any way. There is no one to impress. There's no one to make your point to. There's no one to persuade or to get your needs met from. So you can use your voice in absolutely any way you want. And the only person you have to impress is yourself. So pause and take a deep breath into that. Take a deep breath into that solitude and freedom of just pleasing yourself. Now, imagine that you're alone here, you're living your life on this island, and you sing or speak something out loud to yourself for no other reason than just to express something vocally for your own enjoyment. Maybe you'll talk out loud to yourself, you'll recite a poem or a story, or sing one of your favorite songs. Almost like a child, allow yourself to just express something out loud with no purpose other than your own fun. And within this imagined context, when you hear your voice and no one else is there listening but you, and no one ever will be there listening but you forever and ever, what do you hear in your voice? What do you like about what you hear? For example, if you hear a breathy softness in your own voice, do you like that? Do you like the low, consistent drone if you have a more monotone sound? Do you like how loud or quiet your voice naturally is? How high or low it is? How fast or slow it is? On this deserted island, free from any societal conditioning about how your voice should or shouldn't be, what do you like when you are completely and utterly alone? Spend as much time here and pause the video if needed to really sit with your voice and sit with this exercise. Try to encourage playfulness, curiosity, and open-mindedness as you come up with your top 3 vocal tone qualities that you like about your voice. And you can jot those down into your workbook space when you have a moment. If you're ready to start emerging out of this visualization and back here into the present moment of taking this course, jot down those top 3 items into your workbook. Those 3 things are your vocal strengths. This is the final step in the discovery process. You just found it. Your vocal strengths are what you like and what you enjoy about your voice. They aren't what you've heard from others. They aren't what movie narrators sound like, or even what your mentors say that you should sound like. They are what you have and what you like best about what you have. This concludes our episode today on how to discover and amplify your vocal strengths. If you got a lot out of this video today, please do me a favor and like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow and it allows me to continue making this valuable content for you to keep growing and learning. Also, if you've watched this video all the way through and you're really resonating with this method, I'd like to personally invite you to apply for my mastermind program called Vocally Empowered, which is a self-paced plus live coaching hybrid program dedicated to going much, much deeper on the vocal transformation that we're talked about here in this video today, going from a passive or a reactive communicator into someone who steps fully into their voice's power and learns how to harness the incredible capabilities of their voice as a tool to connect in relationships, to develop an authentic sense of self, to excel in professional situations, and so much more. I know that you have dynamic things to say, but you often find yourself tongue-tied or in uncomfortable conversations without a clear strategy. And if that's the case, you will love the Vocally Empowered program. It is such an amazing course, and I've seen my clients undergo incredible transformations into the people that they know they are meant to be. So if you are interested, you will find the Vocally Empowered program and a few other offerings of mine if you head to my website at erinroberts.co, which is linked in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.